I'm Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. They never told you the truth about Africa. They hid our greatness behind their history books. They called us poor, yet it was our gold that built their empires. They called us weak, yet it was our strength that carried their world. Africa's story was rewritten to make us forget who we are. But the wind is changing. The youth are waking up. The lions are rising again. Our ancestors didn't die for us to beg, they fought for us to rise. And now it is time to reclaim what belongs to us, our pride, our land, our power, our truth. Africa is not a continent of poverty. Africa is the heart of humanity. And no matter how long they hide our story, the truth will always find its way home. They never told us the truth about Africa. For centuries they covered our light with their lies. They made the world believe that Africa was a land of darkness, when in reality, Africa is the cradle of the sun. They taught us that civilization began elsewhere, but it began here on our soil, under our sky. Our ancestors built kingdoms that flourished long before their empires existed. They mined gold, forged iron, wrote history in ways the world still cannot understand. But when they came, they didn't just steal our resources, they stole our stories. They renamed our lands, erased our heroes, and replaced our pride with silence. Today, that silence is breaking. The youth of Africa are waking up, not to beg, but to build, not to copy, but to create. We are not victims of history of a new one, a generation that will not trade its future for crumbs from another's table. A people who understand that freedom is not given, it is taken. For too long, Africa has suffered not because of the strength of her enemies, but because of the weakness of her leaders. We had leaders who spoke for the people, but we also had many who sold the people's dreams for foreign coins. They traded our gold for approval, our resources for empty promises, and our dignity for handshakes in foreign lands. The true enemy of Africa is not only outside our borders, it often wears the same skin as ours. But let us not forget there were those who stood tall. Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah. They did not bow, they did not kneel, they spoke truth when silence was safer. And for that truth, they paid with their lives. These were leaders who believed that Africa could feed herself, defend herself, and think for herself. My brothers and sisters, they never told us who we truly are. They told us we were born to follow, never to lead. But the truth is, the world began with us. Africa was the first light of humanity, the first cradle of kings and queens, the first soil where man walked with purpose. They came with their ships and their flags, pretending to bring knowledge, but what they brought was deception. They took our gold, our diamonds, our people, and in return, they gave us chains and confusion. They rewrote our history to make us forget our power, yet the truth cannot die. The spirit of Africa is eternal. It lives in every child who dares to dream, in every mother who still sings the songs of her ancestors, in every young African who refuses to be silent. They built their empires on our sweat, and today, they still try to control our minds. But Africa is awake now. We are not begging for freedom, we are reclaiming it. We are not asking for respect, we are earning it. I love you all.